Good, how are you?
Right, man, look at that big old trip right there. Getting the moon, huh?
Yeah.
Does it really pick that up?
Well, the screen is a little busted, but yeah, it does pick it up.
Oh, that's it? That little white dot there?
Yeah. I mean, this is zoomed all the way out.
That's not, it's what?
Zoomed all the way out.
Oh,
Farthest
yeah.
out.
That's about as best you can get it?
No, here. It's an, I brought my bad tripod by mistake.
Oh.
But, so it's
Oh, you can get it like that?
It'll get better, it'll get it
Oh,
better.
that's incredible.
And then actually, it looks more like that on the TV.
If it's not broke, huh?
Yeah.
It's broke on the screen there, it's a little messed up. Huh?
Yeah.
I just damaged it or hit it.
Just dropped it, yeah.
So it looks more like that, huh?
Yeah.
That's what we're going to look like. Everything is globular, round.
Yeah.
And after comes spacemen over millions of incarnations, they become mighty angels. They'll be like 10 miles long. I saw one time, large, about 10 miles.
Really?
Yeah, I swear to God, it was a purple wing. I see, they come to me. I mean, I'm visited a lot by beings, a lot of crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I really am. Like I had 150 of them come to me one night and get in a circle. 3,000 of them came to me one night.
Really? What do they look like?
Just little balls, one like count 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000, got to about maybe 1,500 in one line. It was a big beat. It was about, way up there, about 5 miles up. It was coming about 4 in the morning in Encino.
Really?
And then on the side, there's this thick beam of just white light following me.
Huh.
And I go, whoa, look at that thing. And then I count, there was 10 balls just kissing each other.
Uh-huh.
Making this thick beam,
A long beam, right.
Following them. And I put it together. My friend, he saw 100 balls shoot out of a big ball once.
Uh-huh.
And then this lady on our bell took up on board a ship. And this beautiful, beautiful lady, she said, spoke to her and said, this is what we are. And then turned into a white ball of light on the ship. And then she came back to her later as she was still on the ship in a white ball. And this lady's telling the story on Art Bell, and he don't screen his calls, right?
Right. I've never heard him, but I've heard of him.
Yeah, and I've heard, this lady, she just explained it all right there. She was in her house in Arizona, and this ship just comes. She looked out her window, hovered right over her house. Next thing she knows, she was up in this ship, and this lady was talking to her.
So who are they?
Turns into a white ball. Oh, they're just incarnations that millions and millions and millions of times. But some of them reach even larger than that. But my friend, and then I put it all together. My friend saw a big ball once in Argentina. He's sitting on the seashore, and this big ball just comes out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, he just saw hundreds of white balls come out of it.
Really?
They just went, yeah. And so I figured, for them to be able to do that, they have to be able to transform like Jesus did, walk on the water. Remember when he went up on the mountain?
Right.
He transformed into pure white light, remember?
No, I don't remember that.
Well, it's right in the scriptures.
Right,
yeah.
okay, I believe you.
He took on his original form, and he started glowing a fuller white, like Fuller's soap. Whiter than Fuller's soap, it said.
Wow.
And then Moses appeared with him, and Elijah.
Right, I remember that part.
And then, when Peter and John woke up, it was just Jesus standing there back in his regular form. And this lady, she wasn't even saying nothing from the Bible. I just put all that together, and then she says, is this what they are? And they come out, but I seen this one dude come over to me one time. He was like, he had his wings spread though. He was like an archangel. Because I've seen archangels, they come, like 6 of them come to me one time.
What do they look like?
Well, they're like V's like this, and they come to points, right? And John, if you read in Revelations 10, that's the only place in all the Bible that tells you what a mighty angel looks like. Because it says right there, it says, I, John, beheld a mighty angel come down from heaven. It was clothed in a cloud. A rainbow was on his head. His face was like the sun, and his feet were pillars of fire. And it's funny, because the night before I found that passage, because 6 of them come to me once, and the 7th one comes to me about a year later, and he flies over me, and he's sticking his head up out of the V, okay? Because the first 6 ones were just straight V's,
right,
made out of like white clouds, but form, right? shaped
right.
into wings, like, you know, in the wings, you know, coming down skinny, right?
Right.
Like the Star Trek emblem,
Right.
except stretch it out.
Right. And pointing up and pointing forward.
Pointed down, yeah,
Right.
because the big wing I saw was pointing up, but that was like the ninth one I saw. I mean, I've been visited like 3,000 times.
I've never seen anything like that.
I know, a lot of people, I call myself Randy Lead. I hope I'm going to be a big rock and roll star.
Really? What do you play?
Lead guitar, Randy Lead, to the side, L-E-A-D, right?
Oh, okay, I got
sit in front of Led Zeppelin.
Oh, really?
But I've been lost for a long, long time. You know, L-E-A comes for L-E-D, right?
Okay.
Right, so I'll sit in front of Led Zeppelin. That's a million
There you
records
go.
right there.
There you go.
You know, and they're still pumping them out. So if Randy Lead comes along one day. But, you know, that's, I don't know. Yeah, who needs $1 million, right? Too much work, man, just to survive. But I like telling my stories.
No kidding.
Okay, the first 6 ones, but I'll tell you the 7th one, he was sticking his head up out of it.
Uh-huh.
And he was making a cloud around his wing. Okay, like the regular shapes you see.
Right.
By him sticking up, okay, there's the wing, right there.
Right.
Well, right on top of the point, there's this white ball of light, like his face. Like it was his face, and trickling colors were coming off it, like that was a rainbow.
Really?
Just arcing colors.
Huh.
And, you know, that was the rainbow on his head right there, his face like the sun. But by that, he was making a cloud around his wing, and there's this cloud. See, the next day I found this, too. I stumbled upon it, and I said, dude, that's what I saw last night.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. How could I find it?
Where did you see that?
This was over in North Hollywood.
Huh.
I just went around the corner, sat back down on the lawn, and this guy comes flying on a telephone pole. And then he's turning around. I swear, I felt his eyes like beams
Really?
of light coming out of his eyes, looking at me as he's flying. As he's flying over me like this, I could feel his eyes, dude, looking at me. I jumped up, man. I went, whoa, and I'm like this, dude. I mean, I'm laying back on the lawn just resting because my car broke down. I'm laying over there. Oh shit, what am I going to do now? And
Wow.
you know, and I jump up after he flies. I go, whoa, well, I got to tell the world, man. I said, the world don't even know what's going on.
Huh.
And I mean, I jumped up and I'm like, why? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
The other ones could take the white ball and just stick it right inside the cloud.
Right.
Kind of cloud for, but he's sticking it up, and therefore he made another ring of light.
Hey, do you want to tell this on camera?
No.
Okay. I'm just out here shooting the moon here.
I know, that would be cool, but just to finish the story,
Okay.
he's like, so that was his face, was the sun, and I figured the rainbow was that.
Right.
And
he was forming the
and
cloud.
his feet were the pillars of fire. But I mean, it's right there in Revelations, John 10. It says, I, John, beheld a mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed in a cloud. I saw the cloud. His face was like the sun, a rainbow on his head, and his feet were like the pillars of fire. His feet, I didn't see his feet because he's flying.
Right.
You tuck your feet up when you fly. Well, imagine. But then I saw that big one time. But then, these guys, imagine, and then there's these ships they talk about that are 5,000 miles long, one spaceship. Okay, now who's coming out of those?
Right.
5,000 miles long?
I never heard of that.
They got them as big as city blocks. They got them. They say they have their ships up there that they've been building. They just found different ways to build. Well, imagine what if we just keep building and building stuff.
Eventually we'll build something 5,000 miles long.
Yeah, we already have bridges 5 miles long.
Right, that's a start.
That's a start. But, yeah, to build something like that, you would have to find a new technology. You'd have to almost build it out of like Jesus says, in my Father's mansion, there are many mansions.
Right.
So and up there we're made of light.
Right.
So if you was able to build these ships, they say these ships are made out of crystals. And it's even Roger Waters says it in his song. He goes, the crystal ships smoke on the crystal ships.
Right.
Smoke. He says, smoke on the horizon.
Right.
But you were only coming through in waves.
Right. I
Your
remember
lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. I'm comfortably numb.
Huh.
Yeah.
So when's the first time you saw these?
Oh, when I was like 17, they started coming to me.
Really?
Yeah, but I've got it. And then the other people told me they make them out of. And then there's songs by UFO, the rock band UFO.
Right.
Crystal Light.
Huh.
Called Crystal Light, and it's somehow they take this crystal light. It's just easy to make these things, but they make these ships out of. And I mean, there's probably many mansions and rooms inside these balls where all these things. I mean, it's got to be amazing.
Tom's always good at ruining any evening.
Oh well.
I know. Cops, man. Nobody likes cops. They're starting to run. You know, that's what's wrong with us. I think Jesus Christ is going to come back, like he says, once the world. Because you know what? They let people go, man, on the street. They don't even give them clothes. These guys are homeless. They're down and out. They have nothing. And they treat them like shit. They don't even have any love or respect for them. And then they turn around and tell you to stick your nose in the corner and have love and respect. And yet they don't show it. You know what I mean?
Well, you can't control.
It's like no, it's gonna change. Hey, this is cool. This place is cool over here. This place is pretty cool. You got a few bad people, but you go down there, and they're sucking up all the people that don't have any money, all the people that are having hard times, all the people that can't get bail, all the people, because that's what they get $150 per night that they keep the person in that jail. And it's like a big cattle thing, my friend was telling me. They got these things and they run you through on these computers. These handheld computers like they do in the store aisles.
Yeah.
They run you through, dude, and you're just like cattle to them. But
Well, it looks like the eclipse is almost over.
they're not too bad, but I mean, I just wish, I shouldn't say it like that, but I wish they would change. You know, I wish they would, if they're really going to try to help people by busting them, right? And by saying, okay, don't do this no more, it's wrong. Then you got to help them emotionally and eternally.
Yeah, I think so.
You can't just throw them in a brick house, you know.
Well, hopefully it'll get better.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully they'll get better. Well,
What can you do?
yeah, like, what can you do? What can you do? You
Just
can only,
enjoy this pleasant night.
I
This
know.
beautiful
you can
night
only
and this
exist
beautiful water.
one lifetime at a time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not everyone gets to see what I see, so, you know, sometimes
I guess not.
I take it a little personally because I'm a little closer to the light, let's say.
Yeah.
It's just like brush that's closer to the heart. You know, you can change that and say a little closer to the light, just a little closer. But it's because God brought me closer. But they say when the nations rise against nations and kingdoms against kingdoms, then they say these spaceships, because this spaceship come me 3 months ago over here in Encino.
Oh.
I mean, I'm like, dude, I don't need this stuff because it's ruining my life a little bit.
Yeah, no kidding.
I meet people and I start talking to them and I lose all friends. And it's like, that's all I talk about. And
So are you in a band?
yeah, but I mean, it's not normal for me to be talking about this all the time. So what I'm saying is when nations rise and kingdoms against kingdoms like they're doing right now. Did you know, you heard on the news today, it's not just Al-Qaeda that we're dealing with. We're starting to find out, we're starting to deal with other countries like Saudi Arabia, Syria, and big countries.
Yeah, I don't know. I try not to read too much about it.
We're starting to make a lot of enemies.
Yeah, I try not to read too much about it.
And, you know, they got nuclear weapons too now.